Hey everyone, Jesse Mills here. Welcome to the Creative Cash Flow Show, where we share real estate secrets for achieving time and money freedom. And folks, I'll tell you what, one of the biggest things I hear from people all the time after being in real estate and mortgage for the last 12 plus years, 15 years in finance and 12 years in real estate, okay, is I want to do this, but I don't know what to do, okay? And I don't know how many people I run across that have analysis paralysis, right? Has that ever happened to you? You just were a little scared if maybe that's the right way or that's the right strategy, or I got to know some more information first. I need more answers. I got to know steps 5, 6, and 7 before I take steps 1, 2, and 3, right? Well, on the show today, guys, we're going to go through the simple 4 steps to getting started with your first investment property or your next deal. Okay. Maybe you've already done one. Great. Then this should be real simple. But if you haven't and you're just getting the ball game, guys, the 4 simple steps to getting started with your first or next investment property. I don't want this to be overwhelming. There is a place you have to get to where you just say, you know what? I'm not going to know it all. I don't know it all. And I certainly can't control what happens. And I will make mistakes. Okay. So you gotta get to that place right away. Okay. Fail fast. Have you ever heard that? Fail fast. People say, why the heck would you want to fail fast, Jesse? I don't want to fail at anything. Well, if you're not failing, you're not trying, right? That means you're totally in your bubble. You're in your comfort zone. You're literally not doing anything new that would allow you to fail. And if you're not doing anything new, you're not growing, okay? And if you're not growing, that is one of the ultimate really secrets to life, guys. Seriously, it's just growth. When people are complacent in the same spot day after day, year after year, okay, that is one of the toughest things for most human beings to deal with. And is really, at the end of the day, even there's a lot of things around it that mask it, right? That is what people are looking for, is growth, okay? So you have to fail. Well, I want you to fail fast, because if you're failing fast, that means you're taking massive action. And then I want you to learn from those mistakes, learn from those failures. And it's only failure if you quit. It's only failure if you give up, right? Because if you don't give up, you're not really failing. You just learned from a mistake or something that, didn't go as good as it could or went wrong. It's all good. It happens. Okay. So fail fast. All right. So guys, step number 1, and if you're in a place to write this down, if you can, take it out in your notes, jot it on a piece of paper, right? Do a little voice memo, pause it, hit voice memo, whatever you got to do. But there's 4 steps. So step 1 is, what are your goals? Okay. Now this can be a very elaborate, detailed answer, but it could be as short and sweet as, I just want to have an extra $300 a month coming in to cover my car payment. Okay. Or I want $500 a month coming in to put towards my children's education. Okay. Or I want to supplement my income because I was working full-time, but now I'm part-time and I want to supplement my income, right? Maybe the answer is, I've got a trip planned and I want to have some money for a trip, or your vacation fund, right? If you like to travel like me, we got to create some money for that. Okay. Or it's saying, hey, look, I know that my retirement account is not going to get me where I need to be to comfortably have a good time retiring, right? I'm not going to be where I want to be. So I need more. All right. So there's short-term goals and there's long-term goals. Now, to get even a little bit more in the weeds on this, you might say, well, I'm looking for cash today, right? Like maybe you're a flipper or a rehabber, or you want to go flip a house. Okay. Maybe you're caught up in all the shows. You're just excited. You want to go flip some houses and make some quick cash. Okay. So number 1, I'm kind of speaking more to true investing in the sense of, you have a property you're going to hold at least for a little while. Okay. Maybe it's a year, 2, 3, or 5, 10. Okay. Maybe it's properties you're going to hold and then, roll into something else. Okay. But if you literally just want to go buy a house and sell a house super fast, you can do that. Right? Maybe you're doing that by flipping houses. You're doing that by wholesaling. You're doing that by signing contracts. Maybe you're already in the real estate game as like an agent. So really, that's just kind of just doing deals, right? But if your goal is money and money now and quick money, that's earned income that you're working for, which is taxed at the highest tax levels, and it's not really investing. Okay. But it's all good. We can talk about that. And that is kind of falls in that area as well. But I'm really talking about, again, guys, when you're talking a year, 3, 5, 20, 30 years down the road, you're saying, what are my goals? Okay. Eventually, if you want to have true financial freedom where you have mailbox money coming in every single month that pays for all of your bills, pays for your lifestyle. Okay. Well, it doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen with one deal. So we need to have a goal and a plan. And what does that look like? How much do you need to cover those expenses, specifically the things you want to cover? Or again, the goal to get you to, whatever it is that is. Okay. Got it? So I don't think we need to beat that one over the head too much, but you got to know where you're going and why you're going there in the first place. Okay. So goals, number one. Then number two, you need to sit down with someone, okay, or Zoom or get on the phone with someone who has been where you want to go. Okay. So you need to have a meeting with someone who's done it because you haven't done it. If you haven't done it, then you're probably maybe stuck in analysis paralysis still, which is why you're still watching a ton of videos and listening to a ton of podcasts, and you're buying courses and you're buying programs, but you're not doing anything yet because you're scared. Okay. And I would tell you right now, if you're scared, it's all good to be scared. It's okay to be scared. We're all scared and we're all nervous when it's something brand new. Okay. But I love to work with action takers and people who are doing stuff, and you don't have to know all of the answers right up front to know, to get started, to get going. All right. So you need to sit down and you need to meet with somebody that has been where you want to go, doing what you want to do, and help kind of say, hey, this is my goals. And what do you think is the best strategy? All right. And again, if you're wanting to invest in real estate and you're talking to a realtor who doesn't own any investment properties, that might be a sign that you're not talking with the right person. Okay. If you're talking with a loan officer or a mortgage broker or a bank, and they don't really do a lot of investment property loans, you might not be talking with the right person. Okay. If you're talking with an investor who's telling you, how cool Airbnbs are and short-term rentals, but all they've ever done is flipped houses, or they got a couple of long-term, rentals, that might not be the right person, right? You guys follow me? So talk with someone who's doing what you do. I can tell you guys right now, if you want to pick my brain and sit down for half an hour, talk about apartment buildings and syndications, at this point in my life, I'm not your guy. Now, I've got some very good friends and colleagues that I can get you with that are doing that day in, day out, and on a big scale. Okay, so I got the people for that, but that's not me personally. And I would never say that's me if that's not my thing. Okay, so sit down with somebody that is doing what you want to do, been where you want to be, not just talking about it, not just knows other people, but the right people. Okay, so that's step two, right? We're already halfway there, guys. Step one is what's your goals. Step two is you need to set up a meeting with someone that has done what you want to do and is where you want to be, or at least on the way. They're on the path. They got to be further down the path than you. Maybe they're not at the very finish line, but they're way down the path further than you. And they can say, here's what I've done, and I'm happy to share that with you. Okay. Step three, pre-approval. You need to get pre-approved, not pre-qualified, right? Which just means you told somebody you've got good credit and don't have a lot of bills. You told them maybe what you do for a living and what you make. And they said, yeah, you're pre-qualified. Sounds good to me. That doesn't mean jack. You need to get fully, completely, 100% pre-approved with a lender. Now, I would tell you not just one lender, okay, because there's tons of lenders out there. Maybe go with a few different lenders because number one, you want to make sure you're working with someone who's, again, super knowledgeable, who's going to take great care of you, who has lots of options of products, okay, who's, doing the things that you want to do, like we said. But then also, like, you have commercial bankers and kind of different loans, like commercial loans, your local business banks, community banks, stuff like that. They do in-house loans. They do portfolio loans. Okay, these are loans that are not sold on the secondary market. They're not your Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, conventional loans. Okay, you need people that will do that kind of different, unique stuff. And then you need maybe someone who's doing something even a little outside of that, like a DSCR loan. Okay, that stands for Debt Service Coverage Ratio loan, where essentially, this is crazy, guys. I might blow your mind here if you haven't heard these opportunities, but you could go to someone who does a DSCR loan, and you may not even have to show full proof of all of your income. As long as your credit scores are good enough, you have to have good credit. Okay, nothing crazy. Usually like 680 to 700 or higher. You have to have, the 20% down you're going to need. But if your taxes make it look like you make $20,000 last year and maybe you grossed, 150 or 200 with your business, but your net income is not where it needs to be because you're taking advantage of, the tax rules that are out there, then this is a product you could use. Okay. So never take no for an answer, right? If you guys, know anything about me, I don't like the word no, and I don't take no for an answer. So if you're hearing no from somebody, move on to the next. Move on to the next and keep trying to find the right person that's going to give you the answers that you want. Okay. So then you could also look at conventional. So of course there's the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac conventional lenders, nice 30-year fixed, right? But again, this needs to go with your strategy and your goals, okay? Which is what you talk about, with step 2, with your meeting, with your guide, with your mentor, with your coach of who's helping you do this, because they may say, well, you don't need to worry about a 30-year fix if you're going to hold this thing for 2 to 3 years and then snowball that into more deals and more deals. It doesn't really matter, okay? So, but you do need to know that you are pre-approved and that you have money unless you are sitting on cash. Now, if you have cash, do you have enough cash to basically buy the property 100%? Okay, sounds silly, but a lot of people say, oh, I got cash. Well, okay, well, the cash doesn't help unless it buys the property completely and pays for the property and any, repairs and updates and improvements you need and reserves, right? You need all of that. So if you've got all of that, then awesome. But then how much can you do, right? If you got $500,000 sitting liquid to do that, you're going to buy a $300,000 house, renovate it, you got reserves. You're like, Jesse, I'm good to go, man. Okay, great. But that's one, right? So in another episode, I just went through how I just created $161,000 of liquid cash. I still have the properties. I didn't get rid of them. I still have them. And I put less than $30,000 into those 3 properties to make 161. Okay. So if you're going to dump $500,000 into something, how long is it going to take you to go get another $500,000 made and created, right? And set aside? A while. So there's a leverage, guys. You have to be, you have to understand leverage. You have to be okay with leverage. There's degrees of leverage, and that's up to you. That's your risk tolerance. But you really got to take a look at how are you getting money. Okay. So if you're not, one of those people that has enough cash to come in and buy real estate, which by the way, guys, it's not most people. Yeah, it's not most people. So don't think like, oh my gosh, all these people just have all this money. They don't. There's not, I mean, trust me, there's a lot of money out there right now, but the majority of people do not have hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars cash. Okay. They use financing, they use leverage. So, which again means you got to be pre-approved and ready to go. It blows my mind. Again, doing loans for 15 years and in real estate for, over 12 years. How many people don't want to go do that part with the money, right? But then they want to look at places and then they want to look at something like now. I'll tell you what, this is funny. I just had a situation like this last weekend. I was out of town. I was at an event that had been scheduled for months and months. And got a referral, which was fantastic. But this couple, they wanted to go look at stuff like that day immediately, and they weren't even pre-approved yet. And ironically, the funny thing is, I was out of town. I was busy at a networking event, and learning and investing in myself. And so I of course couldn't do it. And I had part of my team help them, but they wanted stuff like that day. I was like, you know what? That's not how I operate, at least. There might be agents out there who have nothing else going on and they, can just drop everything they're doing to go show you a house when you can't even get it necessarily. Okay. But that's definitely not how I operate my business. And it's certainly not how I coach any of my students to operate as well. Okay. You have to respect people's time, but you got to be ready to go is my point. Okay. So it's like running into the grocery store and having your entire shopping cart full of like $200 worth of groceries, then going to the checkout and going, oh, I left my wallet at home, or, my purse is at home. I don't have any money. Well, it's too late. You already got $200 worth of groceries in the cart, right? Now you got to go put it all back and you're not going to get it. So wouldn't it be smart to have all your money and know you have $200 available credit or $200 of cash, and now you can go buy that stuff, right? That's how it works. So I would say, pre-approval is so important that you do it that way. Okay. Now, step number 4, guys, is very simple. But it's so hard for most people. It is take action. Okay? You got to take action. I don't know how many people do steps 1, maybe 2, maybe 3, but then they don't do steps 4. And you have to take action. Okay? Now, here's the thought I want you to kind of sit and chew on this for a second. Okay? Unless your goal is to buy one piece of real estate, one asset, one building, one property, one chunk of land, one anything, and be done. If you want to be a one and a done, number one, you got to listen to the show a lot more than you are. Number two, you're a little cuckoo, but that's all right. But why would you want to buy just one and be done? Okay. Unless it's massive, which again, you're in a different situation if you got the kind of capital for getting one and done and you're retired off of that. Okay. So you're not going to buy just one property, guys. You're going to buy a lot more. Okay. So you don't have to get it right on the first one. You don't have to nail it and get a winner where this is the best thing you've ever done. There are good deals. There are great deals. There are bad deals. Right now, again, you need to be learning from people who have done good deals and can tell you why and how and help, and have done bad and say, this is what you shouldn't do. This is where I screwed up. This is, what I could have done differently. Okay. That's part of why I do this podcast. That's part of why I share, is if you want to get in the game, or if you're in the game and you just want to grow, right? And do more and help others, right? Whether you're doing that as a profession or just, as a friend or as a partner or family, whatever, right? People make mistakes. So let's learn from other people's mistakes. But the number one mistake is to not take any freaking action. Okay. So guys, this is pretty simple stuff. Really, it's only 4 things. Okay. We have 4 things. So number one is, what are your goals? Okay. You got to be clear about what do you want and why do you want it? Are you looking for cash flow only? Are you looking for as many tax advantages as possible? Are you looking for kind of a chunks of money right now, right? Are you looking for something that's going to be a 20, 30-year play, or are you talking 3 to 5 years, right? What are your goals? You got to jot that down. You got to know that first, okay? And goals, right? They got to be specific, measurable, right? Attainable, right? Which I don't like that part, because attainable, I mean, you could underestimate that. But realistic and trackable, right? Measurable. So you got to write down your goals. Step 1 is goal. Step 2 is you have to have a meeting with someone that can help you move forward with this. A licensed realtor, real estate agent, an investor, a partner, friend, colleague. Okay, I would highly recommend a licensed professional who does this for a living. But again, like I said, right, you don't go see your foot doctor when your throat hurts. You don't go see your dentist, right, when you got bowel problems. Okay, I don't know. I'm just thinking of medical stuff here, but you know what I'm saying, right? You don't do that. So you don't see, a real estate agent who's sold maybe 100 houses last year. Good for them. They're killing it, but they don't have one piece of investment real estate. Well, why are they telling you about investment properties? They don't have one. Okay. Or you're talking to somebody who flips houses, but you want to learn about short-term rentals. It doesn't make sense. So have a meeting with the right person. Now, if you don't know anybody who's the right person, hello, I can help you out. I can steer you in the right direction. If that's me, fantastic. If it's not me, I'll be happy to tell you I'm not your guy, but I can connect you with somebody that probably in the space that you want to be. Okay. So number 3 is you have to have cash ready or be pre-approved. You have to know you can get the money to get the property and the asset and the thing you want. You have to know you can get it first. Okay. Don't be one of those people and going and wasting your time potentially, or someone else's time, looking at a whole bunch of things that you can't even get because you didn't take the time to do the right steps in the right order. Okay. So make sure you're pre-approved. And then number 4 is you got to take action. If you've done number 1, 2, and 3, right, you're ready to go. Let's go. Now, if you've done steps 1 through 3 and you're ready to go to step 4, but that's like months down the road, why? Right? Because again, maybe we've got to go back and look at your goals, right? Here's the thing. You can't create a massive amount of cash flow necessarily, right? Now, every once in a while, there's a unicorn out there that you might say, Jesse, what about this? What about that? But it takes time. This is real estate. Okay. It's a slow game for the most part. This is not a get rich quick thing at all. And if you're making really quick money right now, you're not really investing. Okay. That's, again, more earned income. That's flipping, that's wholesaling, that's assignments, that's JV deals, that's different stuff like that. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, guys, that's it. Now, how long do these steps take? Jesse, how long do these steps take? It's completely up to you. That's the cool thing, right? So if you were super motivated and you're like, my goal was to get something by November this year, by November 1st of 2022, my goal was to have a property by then, or at least by the end of the year. Okay. Well, I would say, great. Let's talk in the next 24 to 48 hours. Okay. Get you the strategy set up, go through your goals, right? Then within a day of that, you could be talking with the right lender and loan officer and mortgage team if you aren't sitting on enough cash to do what you need. And again, even if you are sitting on enough cash, if that is you sitting on a bunch of cash, why would you use all of your cash in one deal, right? Let's leverage it. Let's make more sense, okay? So then that could be done in a day. Then number 3, with the pre-approval, that's part of it, right? So that's after our meeting, right? So guys, this can get done in like 48 hours, 72 hours. I'm not kidding. I see people that sometimes will take months or years to do these 4 things that can literally get done in less than 3 days, maybe 2 days, okay? Maybe a day. I've seen it. I've done it, okay? Most people don't do it in a day, but it can get done, okay? So it doesn't have to take that long. It's how bad do you want it? When do you want it? And here's the thing. Things aren't getting any cheaper. Rates aren't going down, okay? So you are literally wasting money, and money compounded by waiting, all right? So guys, that's it. The 4 steps to getting your first or next deal. And I hope that this episode serves you. I hope if you're somewhere along those 4 and you haven't moved to the next step, that this helps you. If you haven't even started with step 1, great. Now you know where to go, right? Start with step 1, write down your goals. And of course, it's usually not just a solo sport, right? If you have a friend, if you have a partner, if you have a spouse, if you have a family member you're doing this with, right? Do it together, because you might find that you guys have different goals. You might find like, well, I want X and she wants Y, and okay, we got to get on the same page, right? And you might want it by like next year because you're like gung freaking ho. And then your partner might be like, oh, in 10 years, I'm good with that. Well, okay, we're on 2 different timetables, right? So you gotta talk it out. So, all right, guys, again, if you got questions on this, if you've got, any feedback, if you've got comments, hit me up at the Jesse Mills on all the socials, the Jesse Mills on all the socials. And you can also shoot me a text, guys. If you get some questions, hit me up with a text. Text me at 612-662-6629. 612-662-6629. Now, also, I want you guys to pay attention to this, because if you want to text me, be a part of my text community, right? I will also send you out new opportunities and deals that we have if you're looking for those. So if you've done steps 1, 2, 3, and 4, and you're ready to take action, okay, and you're looking for opportunities, I will text you those opportunities that we get, not just, here locally and in the Midwest, but nationwide, right? I'll text you that when we get those, if you want to get on that list. All right. So thanks again for joining me here, guys, on the Creative Cash Flow Show. If you have someone else who's been struggling to take action, or they don't even know where to start, but you know that they're juiced about real estate, please share this episode with them. Okay, please share it with them. Maybe take a screenshot, post it on your socials, or go in and actually share it. But let them know that, hey, you know what, we can do this together and make it fun, right? So have a great time, guys. Have an awesome rest of your day. We'll talk with you real soon. Thank you.